taking notes from nobody.
Your superstars have off games.
Follow us on social media at Celtics Talk Weekly.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Celtics post-game live. I am your host. I am Rob. I'm with my co-host, Ian Angelo. We are waiting Seamus to come in and join us. We are without Justin tonight. Justin won't be here. However, show goes on. We got a good one for you. Boston Celtics beat the Toronto Raptors at home to get their first home win of the season, 104-88. Jason Tatum led all Celtic scorers with 22 points on the night. He also tagged along, 12 rebounds or 13 rebounds? Let me check.
12 rebounds and
7 assists.
7 assists.
A stat line.
Oh my God.
A stat line that was much needed for Boston Celtics fans. However, on the opposite side of things, the Toronto Raptors, they hung in there for a little bit. Scotty Barnes, the rookie, continues to impress. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 3 turnovers on the night. What is a common trend for those Toronto Raptors starters? Guys, how does it feel to finally have the first Celtics win at home?
Well, this is this is an elimination of the first game at home. We can now bury the tape on the first game at home because that 32-point loss against the Raptors is completely out the window now. That we just came into the same scenario tonight, looking for our first home win, playing the Raptors on our home floor. We got the win, and we got it pretty handedly too. And what did we win by? It was 104-88. Yeah, I mean, we held them to 88 points tonight, opposed to 115 the last time. We scored 83, so this was just a feel-good win all around tonight.
Oh, what a win. What a win. This is the team that we've been looking for, and this is the Jason Tatum that we've been waiting for. This was the Tatum that we were promised. I mean, obviously he didn't have a great shooting night. I didn't expect a whole lot out of it, but 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's absolutely insane.
Well,
I so exciting.
The best part about Jason Tatum's night is something that we're saying all offseason was, can Jason Tatum make an impact when he's not scoring, right? Can Jason Tatum, be a positive to have on the court when he's not scoring basketball? And I think tonight was kind of the first game all season where his contribution was bigger than just scoring. It was 7 assists. It was 12 rebounds. He played some phenomenal defense. He had a plus 18 plus minus. He attacked the rim pretty well. Only took 4 free throw shots, but that's all right. And he tagged along a steal. Yeah, he shot 33% from the floor, which is pretty bad. He shot 43% from beyond the arc. So Jason Tatum is our player spotlight of the night. However, it could have gone to Robert Williams. Robert Williams also played a great game. But, Jason Tatum, he was flirting with a triple-double all night. So, it's got to go to him, guys. Like we said, Boston Celtics now hold the Toronto Raptors to under 100 points, right? In the past 4 games, the Celtics are 3-1, right? I want to read off, right, the scores of those games so far since the blown lead to the Bulls. So the Celtics held the Magic to 79 points, 92-79. The Heat to 78 points, right? And then the Dallas Mavericks to 107 points, right? Which, 107, if you hold the other team to 107 points, it's a very winnable game.
It was 104 until the buzzer.
Yeah, and then tonight, we hold them to 88 points. So, coming into the season, it was well known that Celtics fans, and honestly, I said it, this was a team to have a top 5 defense was the expectation. Are we seeing that? Is this team a top 5 defense?
Honestly, Scal said it on the broadcast. He was like, I feel like this team's identity is now they're going to play insane defense, and then they'll figure out a way to win offensively. Like, I think that's what they're going for. And over the last 4 games, they've proven that fact right now. And I've been pretty impressed with the way they've been playing defensively. Everyone's been playing defense. I mean, can't ask for anything more right now.
Defense wins championships, and something I want to address in terms of the Jason Tatum and kind of, only 22 points, but, Once the Celtics start winning games in these fashions, right? Tatum 22, Schroeder 20, Rob Will 10, Richardson 15, Smart 13, Horford 5, right? It's really hard. It's going to be really hard against the Celtics to key in on only Jason Tatum, because if that's your game plan, we're going to attack you in 6 or 7 other ways.
And guess what? Our leading scorer, 6th leading scorer in the NBA, is not playing right now.
Yeah.
So imagine when Jaylen Brown gets back.
Yeah, but I do think that the floor is going to start to open up for Jason Tatum. That's what he has to realize, that, last season teams didn't really notice it, but, he was the only guy on the court. He was the only one you had to guard, right? And teams did a pretty bad job at that. This year, they're like, okay, well, we got to guard this guy, because if we don't, he's going to give us 50. So the defense only really are keying in on Jason Tatum right now. They could do that. Go ahead. If he's going to be passing the ball like he was tonight, yeah, he took 24 shots, only made 8 of them. That will be better. But go only key in on Jason Tatum, because guess what? We got 5 other guys that could give us 15 plus every single night.
If Jason Tatum figures out how to start the game correctly, he'll eventually take off, because he's still starting the game a little wonky, to where he's not really in tune with the offense. He's taking his shots off of isolation, just off of basically him airing the ball out. And we've seen it when Jason Tatum drives to the rim, when Jason Tatum finds those open threes. Those are the easy opportunities he can gain a rhythm from. And we saw that again tonight. It was almost similar to the Dallas game in that regard. Shot a little bit worse tonight, but he had better looks overall, I thought. It was the similar kind of flow, to where he didn't start the game well, but he eventually found it, and it came to him throughout the night. And like you said, 7 assists tonight as well. That's what we've been asking out of Tatum this whole year, is to be a playmaker. And he's made somewhat good decisions this season, but they haven't been at a consistent rate. And tonight I thought we saw a little bit more consistency and engagement from Tatum overall. So even though he shot 8 of 24, great night from Tatum.
So Boston Celtics 5-6, 1 game out of 500. They play the Milwaukee Bucks, guys, Friday night. Tip off at 7:30. The Milwaukee Bucks, I believe, are currently winning, or just beat. They beat the New York Knicks 112-100. The Celtics have them Friday night, right? So Celtics need a win to get at 500. Now I have a question for everyone. Have the Celtics now 3-1 in the last 4? Is a win tomorrow against the Bucks, is that officially saying the Boston Celtics have turned the corner?
Not at this point in the year.
I think it depends on how they win it.
Yeah, I think we've kind of turned the corner a little bit already. I think we turned the corner after that Chicago game, where, 79 points against the Magic, 78 points against the Heat, 104 until the buzzer against the Mavericks, and then tonight 88 points. That's just completely turning a corner defensively. I think, potentially Friday night against Milwaukee, maybe that's a certified game for us. I guess we get certified from that game from the national media, but personally, I think we still have a long way to go, because Milwaukee themselves, they're 6-6, so they're trying to find their footing as well.
Yeah, so I consider Milwaukee a must-win game, because right now we're currently 5-6. We're 3-1 in the past 4 games, which is we could be 4-0, but Luka step back 3, Celtics slow start. You got to give that one to the Magic. It's a very, very well played game for them. You can't fall 2 games back again, because then it's going to start to feel like you can't. Now it's going to start to feel like in the locker room where, oh God, we're doing everything right and we still can't. I feel like the second the Celtics peak over 500 is when they really start taking off. And I feel like the reason I say that is because this team's just, it feels like their slow starts kind of the only thing dragging them down. They're winning great games, mind you. 3 out of the past 4 games, guys, have been blowout wins. We have to realize that. Heat, good team. Magic, bad team. Toronto, tough matchup. We went toe-to-toe on the road against Luka in Dallas. That's always going to be a tough matchup on the road. So I think this team just needs to see that positive record, and then I think we're gonna get going, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be really important for this team. And honestly, I kind of agree with you, Rob. I honestly think the Milwaukee game is probably a must-win game. Like, just imagine this. Imagine the Celtics beat the Bucks like the way they've beaten these teams over the past few games. Like, let's just say they win a game like tonight. Like, let's just say they win 104-88 against the Bucks. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen, but let's say we get like a blowout win like that. I feel like that gives us momentum to where we could just go on and on and on throughout the season like this. Like, I think that would be a huge confidence booster for this team, and I think it's really important. And I mean, they've been playing great basketball. So I mean, I still agree with Seamus though. This team still has a lot of work to do. They still have a lot to iron out and figure out, but I feel like that gives them like all the confidence in the world if they beat Milwaukee on Friday.
For sure. And like Seamus always says, it's building blocks. Now, for Celtics fans out there, in case you were ever feeling down, right, so far this season about maybe losing Kemba or losing Fournier, here's a little stat for you that might brighten your day. Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks combined for a whopping 4 points. Their replacements, Dennis Schroeder and Josh Richardson, combined for 35.
Got to take the wins where you can get them.
Exactly. So, I think we got to realize that Al Horford for Kemba Walker trade was really big. Al only played 24 minutes. Expected in games like these when the Celtics are kind of winning in a commanding fashion. You're going to see Al Horford on the bench for majority of the game. His minutes are really going to come when it's down to the wire, close games against good teams, which Celtics fans should be okay with until when it comes playoffs. You got to make sure this guy's got fresh legs so he can take a 40-minute game. But what has Al Horford done? I mean, you guys got to realize Kemba Walker, we had his nasty contract. Kemba Walker's averaging 11 points per game this season for the Knicks. Al Horford's averaging more than Kemba Walker. He's averaging 13.5. How big was that trade for us, guys?
Honestly, it feels like Al Horford has unlocked Robert Williams. Like, I mean, Robert Williams, like, all he's been talking about is how good Al Horford has been to him and how important it's been to him. And, I mean, Al Horford, he's going to win Rookie of the Year with the way he's playing. Like, I mean, there's no way he's 35 and he's doing what he's doing right now. I mean, even tonight, he had 10 points and 5 rebounds and only 5-11 shooting. Like, that's not bad. I feel like Al Horford has just been like a sense of calm that this team desperately needed. And they're no longer in limbo. They have a guy they can lean on. And I feel like Al has just been the biggest part of that.
Yeah, and that trade for the Celtics, not only was it huge from acquiring Al Horford from that standpoint, but any deal, they could have traded Kemba Walker for Moses Brown, and they would have won that deal because having Kemba on the roster for the next 2 seasons would have financially hamstrung the Celtics to tremendous extents. They wouldn't have been able to do anything next offseason. They wouldn't have been able to do anything this offseason. And ultimately, we know the type of player Kemba is now. He's a small guard who can't defend, who, quite honestly, just doesn't have the same athletic ability to get to the rim, get past guys, his defenders, and rise up for a shot. He's shooting. He's on one of the worst shooting streaks of his career, and I hope he recovers in some way, but there's really no light at the end of the tunnel for a 30-plus-year-old guard. And acquiring Al Horford, 35 years old, it seemed like that was going to be, some people scoffed at that idea, especially people in the national media. Oh, my God, you're trading former All-Star 2 years ago, Kemba Walker, for Al Horford, who hasn't been, fresh in 3 years, it seems like. Al Horford, he looks like a damn All-Star right now.
He does.
He looks like
he's not washed. Al's not washed.
Al is not washed in any word whatsoever. And he looks like, he is one of the 2 best Celtics right now. Him and Jaylen Brown so far this season. And then obviously Jason Tatum. You expect him to make a leap. If those 3 guys are clicking at the end of the year and say Schroeder's still around, this team is going to be pretty dangerous come playoff time because of that addition of Al Horford and just the void and the fit that he fits into, because Kemba Walker, small guard, ball dominant guard next to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, doesn't quite work anymore when you want those 2 guys to be the superstars and he can't defend. So huge trade for the Celtics in every aspect. And that's, credit to Brad Stevens.
Yeah, I mean, Brad had a big, huge offseason. And something I think we got to realize and look at in terms of rotation here, guys, is someone who's not seeing minutes anymore is Peyton Pritchard. It kind of looks like it, especially with Brown out of the lineup, you would have thought you would have seen him, It kind of seems like he's officially gone out on Peyton Pritchard. And I think this is Ime Udoka kind of telling Celtics fans, and not Celtics fans, but everyone, like, this team's direction is defense, and Peyton Pritchard doesn't bring that,
The end of an era. The Peyton Pritchard era was fun while it lasted.
I mean,
sadly, I don't think. We kind of expected this though. Like, what was Peyton Pritchard really going to be on this team? I mean, we kind of expected it. It was fun while it lasted last season. Although I bought his jersey, so I mean,
Okay.
I still believe in him. Peyton Pritchard still going to be one of my favorite players, but yeah, I think the Peyton Pritchard experiment might be over for now.
I mean, I said it all season long. He's been bad. I mean, he's been really
No, he's been terrible. He's been absolutely god awful.
Really, really bad. And he had a great season last year. Don't get me wrong, but different circumstances. You got to realize, guys. Last season, Pritchard was starting for some games, right? There were games this year you would never think for Peyton Pritchard to start ever. If you saw Pritchard,
unless every person is out.
Yeah, exactly. If you see Pritchard in the starting lineup, you're like, oh wow, we're in for a long game because that's our third string guard. And I like the direction we're going, though, because he's always having Smart or Schroeder on the court. Both of them phenomenal, can both run the one pretty well. I thought Schroeder had a lot of trouble tonight turning the ball over. He had 8 turnovers, which is insane. But Marcus Smart had a phenomenal game. 0 turnovers, 6 assists. A great job by Smart. So I think it's really, really good direction I'm supporting that Udoka's going in, with having either Smart or Schroeder in on the court at all times, and then off the bench you're going with Grant, you're going with Langford, you're going with Richardson, Nesmith. I wouldn't mind to see Hernan Gomez thrown in there, quite frankly, or maybe even Jabari Parker. I'm not against seeing them kind of get rotational minutes. That's me personally. I honestly think Jabari could maybe make a bigger impact, or maybe more of an impact than Grant at times in certain matchup scenarios, because of he is offensively more, better than Grant, and offensively we have been struggling. However, like I said, I completely support the direction and benching Pritchard. I hate to say it. I liked Pritchard last year, but it had to be done, I think.
Yeah, Josh Richardson and Romeo Langford essentially off the bench, and them being inserted this year. Obviously, Romeo Langford only played 18 games last year, and then Richardson, obviously an off-season acquisition. Those two guys coming in pretty much pushed Peyton Pritchard way out of the lineup. I mean, those two guys, they had 2 ball-handling threats on offense, and then you go and look at the defensive side of the ball. They're tremendous on-ball defenders and can be really good team defenders as well, whereas Peyton Pritchard, he's more of just a scorer. You hope he turns into a good playmaker over time, but on defense, it's the size. Peyton Pritchard just doesn't have the size and the quickness to defend some of these bigger guards in the NBA. And quite honestly, I think Peyton Pritchard right now, it's so funny to see how many minutes he received during his rookie year, but yet now he almost seems like a project player. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's around for a while, but he's more of a development player now than he is a rotational player as he was last year.
Yeah, I mean, it is sad though, because I remember I was so high on Peyton Pritchard. Like, literally, when he got that game winner against Miami last year, I bought his jersey because I was so high and so hyped about him. But I mean, at the same time, yeah, it is sad, and I hope he stays in the organization for a little bit. I mean, he'll probably just end up being like a Carson Edwards or a Tremont Waters, sadly. But at the same time, I still love PP. His rookie season will never be forgotten because that team was god-awful. But I will never...
I think it's a good problem to kind of have, though, because, Pritchard is a pretty solid third-string point guard. I mean, if you need to call his number, I think at times he can give you a source of offense and playmaking that is useful, but I just think in the general scheme of things and the everyday rotation and the every game matchup, it's not ideal to have Peyton Pritchard run around the court because defensively he's a big liability, and offensively this team has not been able to keep up if they're not going to be playing defense. So I think it's a smart direction with Ime Udoka. However, the Boston Celtics are playing the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday night, 7:30, guys. We're back here at 7 o'clock. Guys, quick show tonight. Like I said, no Justin. We're kind of giving a rundown.
Wait.
Over under.
Yeah, we got one more segment.
We got to do over under. Hey.
So I don't know if I have. Oh no, Justin sent me this. Okay.
I don't even remember. I only remember one, and I got it wrong.
I remember him. I remember it was
so, like I said, tip off at 7:30 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Guys, we got over under now. Okay, first one. So what was over under? Jeez, hold on, let me check.
Hang on, no, I got it. So the first one was.
Yeah, I got it. All right,
the first one was.
No,
what was it?
I'm just looking at it now.
So the first one was Josh Richardson over under 9 points.
I know I got that.
I went over, and I think
you
went over.
I have them right here. So I have the overs.
All right.
So I have first one was 22 team assists.
Wow. Oh.
I went over. Everyone went over on this one. We went
so
21.
Close. It was so. I know.
Yeah.
That was the one I was looking at, going, oh my.
And we had a chance too. They missed like two wide open shots in garbage time. Neesmith and Grant could have gotten the win for us, but
could have at least gotten the push. Can we wait?
I know.
We have to check back in on this one tomorrow. Sometimes they add and take away assists in certain points of the game, rebounds as well.
I mean, it won't be really matter. We all chose over anyway.
That's a tentative. That's a tentative 0 for 4 right there. Next one is 13 team turnovers. I went over.
I went over.
I went under.
Seamus went under. Justin went under. So me and Ian got on the board for one apiece there.
I was sweating it a little bit because they had 10 in the fourth quarter, and I was sweating it a little bit.
Well,
Shout out to Dennis Schroeder.
So Schroeder, we had 15 total, and Schroeder had more than half of our team turnovers. So.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's
not it. Not at all.
We're gonna have to DM. I'm gonna have to DM Dennis Schroeder and be like, "Well,
hold on to the damn ball, Dennis.
Hold on, man. I bet the under on those turnovers, man. Because
so last one was Josh Richardson, 9 points. He went over with 15. So let's take a look. I went over. Everyone went over except Seamus.
Turnovers, man.
Seamus went under. So
Jay Rich.
I had 2. Ian had 2. Justin had 0. Oh no, Justin had 1. Seamus went for 0.
Jay Rich had 7 in the first quarter.
Seamus, you're falling behind in the game right now, man. I think is that the second night you've gone 0 for 3 back-to-back games.
I thought I hit 1.
You got 1 last game?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I know my comeback tour has been going great because the last time I was in last going into the last road trip.
Yeah, because you missed 2.
I missed 2 games, but I mean, I'm coming back, man. I mean, the redemption tour.
Next game will be a 4-pointer because it's a big time game. If you guys don't watch in the pregame shows, first of all, watch the pregame shows. Second of all, we do over under a segment where you cover. We're not really covering spreads or anything here. We're taking stats. We're pulling them. You're gonna go over under. Pretty simple.
And this entire segment was created because Rob bet on the Celtics on opening night, and he lost like $200. So that was the whole reason why we started this segment. So it worked out pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with it.
On big games, we do bonus ones. So next game will be a bonus one. There'll be 4 over-unders. Make sure to check out the pregame show, guys. They're a lot of fun. I'd say they're different than the postgame show. They're a little more organized, more strictly what needs to get done. Yeah, and postgame shows, if we win, it's fun. And if you guys actually, I mean, views wise, you guys like it when we lose more. But
of course.
Hey, I'll take a Celtics win and low views all day, baby. So like I said, Boston Celtics beat the Toronto Raptors 104 to 80.
Also, Seamus, your guarantee finally
Seamus,
went over.
What are you, 1 for 2? Are you 1 for 2?
Wait. I'm 1 for 4 apparently tonight because I'm 1 for 5 because I also said Cantor was gonna play.
What's your record on guarantees? Are you 1 and 2?
I think
what?
games he's 1-2.
I'm
Yeah,
2-2.
1-2.
No, I'm 2-2. I'm 2-2.
2-2.
Oh yeah, you
I
bet
have
the
the-
Magic
Orlando,
game too.
Orlando,
I have the
yeah.
Magic
So
game.
2-2. He's back to
Snuck that one,
500.
man.
He's got a better win percentage than the Boston Celtics, guys. The Celtics beat the Toronto Raptors 104-88, getting their first win at home. The Celtics to play the Milwaukee Bucks Friday night at 7:30. Come back here at 7 o'clock for Boston Celtics pregame live, guys. It's a lot of fun. Chat saying, why do we have Enes Kanter? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. He's a locker room guy. A big night from Jason Tatum, 22, 12, and 7. Robert Williams tagged along, a beautiful 16 and 13. Guys, I'm Rob. That down there is Seamus, and right there is Ian. Go Celtics. Have a great night.
I ain't taking notes from nobody.
Your superstars have off games.
Follow us on social media at